Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Whatever time you're watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, we say thank you. I am Barry Brown, author of the Student Athlete Playbook, the Amazon bestseller Student Athlete Playbook, Success in the Classroom, Sports and Life, a part of the Student Athlete Achievement Program team, and also Youth Education and Sports, our nonprofit charity organization. And as always, we bring you the best student athletes, the best parents, the best educators, the best youth service providers that we can connect with and talk with to bring you great information and to let you know, with all the negative things going on out here in the world, there are a lot of people doing great things in their communities, at home, and definitely in education and youth sports. And that's what we're here to highlight. And today, listen, she's a good friend. We've been all around the country at education conferences together. So shout out to Hotep Red, the whole Hustle University Makeaway Education Program team, because that's how I met this young lady. And listen, when she goes into a school, when she goes into an education conference, it's like the room lights up. It's like, hey, who is that lady? And so without further ado, let me introduce you to today's guest, Dr. Pamela Bruening. How are you doing today, Dr. Bruening?
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you so much. That was quite the introduction.
Yes, man. Just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. So you doing good today?
I am, and you're right. We have been around the world, I think.
I know. There's a lot of places from Mississippi to Florida to Georgia to I can just go on and on, but definitely thank you for taking the time to be with us on the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation today. And I look forward to speaking with you about some of the great things that you're doing right now. And before we get started, let me just let everybody know, because see, Pam, we have student athletes that watch this video conversation. We have parents, teachers, coaches, administrators, superintendents, the whole nine. And so I want to let them all know that if you have a copy of the Student Athlete Playbook, you have a copy of the Student Athlete Journal, and you have a copy of the Student Athlete Facilitators Guide, Playbook's Facilitators Guide, then Dr. Bruening, her and her team, helped me put that together specifically. So when you talk about curriculum, when you're talking about procedure and how to put things together, there's no one better than Dr. Bruening. So she is the CEO of Deeper Dive Learning. And Dr. Bruening, tell everybody what you actually do with Deeper Dive Learning.
Thank you, Barry. Well, I started out really working with authors like you, helping to develop curriculum. And then I got a partner, a former colleague of mine, and we started Deeper Dive Learning, which is really an online learning company. And we specialize in professional learning for teachers, administrators. Also now we have a Family U product for parents. We just are now launching a Homeschool Connection product for parents teaching from home. They have some different needs, of course. And we also, in January, we launched a product that we call the 21st Century Workforce Skills, which is for students ages 16 and up. So we sell that one to colleges, high schools, or obviously we're set up so that our store can, individual courses can be purchased that way by anybody.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Now, what kind of pricing, when you start talking about purchasing, what kind of prices are we talking about there?
Well, we're pretty reasonable, and this is a personalized learning experience. And so it is different than what a lot of people might think. So you're not going to be in like the big group and a whole lot of people on Zoom or anything like that. This is an asynchronous experience. And so for the younger students or the high school students, most of those courses are $39 each.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's very affordable. Reasonable. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. For some of the longer ones are $69, but anywhere in between is based on length, of course.
Oh man, I love it. Man, that's so okay. So you got individual learning modules that they can go into and do these courses in this kind of work at home.
Yep, and it's very interactive. So it isn't the boring kind that we used to do, course, we've all experienced that,
Mhm.
where we're sitting and getting, and, we're
Right.
listen, and wait, in order to even do anything. So we have
Mhm.
all of our videos are 5 minutes or shorter. And
Okay.
we have short bits of text. So what we tried to do is incorporate learning theory,
Mhm.
and best practices with education and learning theory, so that people are experimenting and trying things while they're learning. So we have
Wow.
about, like 80 different ways to interact with text and video within our courses.
Oh,
And so
wow.
people like it. It's point earning. So there's
Mhm.
actually levels and points. So it's a motivator for even adults. We like to win
Exactly.
too, right?
That we sure do. We should.
Yeah,
You add that video game element into it, and the gaming experience where they can gain the points. So I love that. I
that's
love
right.
that. Okay.
Yeah, we
Excellent.
believe in that gaming concept. I mean, we even have a course for teachers called Gamify Your Classroom.
Wow. But now
So,
I know here in the state of Georgia, and now we have created gaming is a part of sports. So those are student athletes too. When we
mhm,
start talking about
right.
the gamers and they can compete for state championships in the whole nine. So when I saw that and started reading up on it, I said, oh my goodness, we're going into a whole nother realm of education and interactive sports in schools when you start talking about having a gaming team. So I'm excited about that to see where that goes as far as competition, because colleges are already giving out scholarships for gaming
Oh, wow.
athletes. So when you
Really?
have that in play, that's amazing. Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. And there's a show I saw. I forgot what network it was on, but T-Pain, he has a entrepreneur show. The music artist T-Pain, and he goes around and interviews all these upstart businesses. And he went to a gaming company. They got seed money from Silicon Valley,
Hmm.
they're well invested in, and they were showing how these guys have to exercise and stretch and do finger exercises and get massages so they can be on the gaming systems all day,
I believe.
practicing and getting ready for the competitions. I'm like,
I believe
wow. Wow.
you know
So these guys are really
anybody
student athletes. Yes.
that oh I get that. Well, you know what? Anybody who's painted a room or a house or
Mhm.
something, how your hands get tired. So I could see
Mhm.
that the hand exercises. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Well, just the gaming theory itself is amazing. So we
Yes.
figured if we could get teachers to start thinking like that a little bit and actually
Mhm.
experience some of that while they're learning themselves, that right there would help them with some of that engagement piece, whether they're virtual
Absolutely.
or live, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it, Pam. So now looking at your bio, and I'm like, oh man, some of this stuff I didn't even know. I saw on here tennis coach,
Yeah.
academic coach. Yeah, we never even talked about tennis. My youngest
Oh, I
daughter
was an
is learning
athlete
about
too.
tennis. I see. I see. And I,
Yeah.
and I, I used to think everywhere we went, I was the only student athlete on the team. And I'm like, wait a minute, Pam, you teaching tennis? Wait a minute. So now how was that experience? Just, go back to those days for a minute. How did you enjoy yourself as a tennis coach back in the day?
Well, I played in high school and college, and then
Mhm.
when I first started teaching, of course, that was the perfect time to start coaching. So I did that
Right.
right away. So those first probably 10 years, I coached at two different high schools, mostly girls, but then one year I did have boys and girls. I
Wow.
was at Key West High School, Key West, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's
So
cool.
just an awesome experience. Coaching, there's nothing like coaching. It just
Mhm.
did. Because you get to know those students in a whole different way. The
Absolutely.
the marathon bus trips.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
and this was back in Key West, Florida, so it's at the end of the world right there.
Exactly. That's
So
right. Right.
those bus trips are brutal because we were playing teams in Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Oh my
So
goodness. Yeah,
yeah,
long
you
bus trips.
can imagine, right? His matches were crazy. But yeah, just it was a great way to interact with the kids, and of course, we all learn a lot about learning too
Mhm.
by teaching others, whether it's tennis or whatever it is. But
Right.
that was yeah, that was my sport.
Excellent. And well, I'm gonna have to get some pointers. Like I said, my youngest daughter, she plays tennis, and we're teaching her, training her right now so she can, develop. She's only 8, she'll be 9 here at the end of the month. So she's learning the basics and learning the footwork. So I'm gonna have to call you about some pointers so I can keep, helping her develop and everything. So I'm glad I read it. I said, oh man, we've never talked about that. So,
No,
so I will be calling you about that, man.
Well, after in between the coaching times, I actually had the opportunity after I had my son to practice with a pro and then become certified as a USPTA instructor. So
Wow.
I did do that for a few years, just in between everything. And then I worked at a country club 1 year. Just not a lot. This was like a second summer career thing, But it was. It gave me a lot of appreciation for what professional athletes might go through as far as just fine-tuning those skills, or even college athletes too, high school athletes, really focusing in on those skills, trying to hit a little box, with a tennis ball 8 times out of 10 or whatever in order to pass that portion.
That's right.
That was really interesting.
Wow, that sounds like it was a great experience right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking that experience, then moving up to all the way up to an academic coach, all the way up to a district administrator, with all the experience you have, what do you think about the status of education here in the United States right now? Because the climate is, we at a critical point, and you might have heard me speak about this in the past. I saw this maybe back in 09, 08, 09, when I was still working full-time in schools. And I used to tell some of the administrators I was working with, I said, this is not going well. If we continue on this path of kids coming to school not ready to be students, with no intention of being a student, and we're still passing them along, and we effectively ended up started graduating kids that did not deserve to graduate, kids that did not learn anything. Where are we going with education in this country? And now, here we go, 10, 11 years later, we're at this point where kids are at home. And parents are forced now to do something with their kids educationally. What do you think, or where do you think we really are education-wise in this country, and where are we going education-wise in this country?
Well, I think we're at a tipping point in a lot of ways. So, there's the whole live virtual thing, and that in itself, I think we're almost over the tipping point just after these last few months. Everybody's learning how to do work differently. They're learning how to learn differently, learning how to teach differently. And there's actually a lot of bonus points really gained with the virtual learning aspect, because from my experience in teaching virtual learning college and so forth, my students always worked harder when they learned virtually than they did sitting in my classroom. That was okay. They told me that. They told me that. So they had to take a little more ownership. And, when we have our K-12 students, obviously parents are having to share some of that ownership. And we see that obviously what's working and what's not. So I think down the road, I'm hoping anyway that, parents and teachers will gain at least a closer connection by understanding each other better and appreciating the challenges that each other faces all the way through this. And for those teachers who are parents right now, as well as teachers, I think in many ways they have the toughest job, because they have their own students, their own kids, and then of course, the kids that they're in charge of teaching themselves. So that's probably one of the most challenging groups of people at this point. And, I think it really boils down to engagement and relationship, those two things. And it doesn't matter if we're virtual, if we're who's teaching, it doesn't even matter that. It's the relationship that has to be established for people to learn and feel safe. Taking learning is a risk. Learning something new is a risk. We might make a mistake. I'm sure you can imagine, because you've met a lot of kids along the way, some children are gonna struggle with learning
Yes,
at home because they don't want to make a mistake in front of their parents.
absolutely.
They might feel
Absolutely.
safer at school, but not at home. So there's that challenge. And then just the relationship, it is hard to teach your own child. I
That's
tried
true.
it once.
Right.
It's harder to teach your own child. I mean, I could teach everybody else's, but teaching my own was a lot harder. So, it's making sure that relationship with the child remains at the forefront and really as the most important thing, not the
Mhm.
learning part. The learning will
Ah,
come, but kids learn from people who they have a strong relationship with. And we know,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think you just hit on several things. Teaching your own children is very tough. That's one thing. And you're right. The strong connection, you have to reach them in order to teach them. And if you cannot
Yeah.
reach them, even if you are their parents, it's going to be very difficult to teach them. Very
Hmm.
difficult. And and just in general in life, nobody cares what you're talking about until you show them that you care about them. That's that's been, I think, my whole theme in education is to let the young people know that, hey, I care about you more than you just, well, let me put it like this. Some kids, all they need to know is that you care about them. And once
Right.
they see that, they'll bust through a brick wall for you. That's in the classroom and that's
Yeah.
out when you're coaching them as well. And I know for sure I was one of those kids that I was a yes sir, yes ma'am kid. That's how I was raised. I'm still to this day. People say, "Oh man, why you saying yes ma'am and yes sir?" Well, I mean, I was raised that way. I say yes ma'am to my children. I have two daughters, and I say
Right.
yes ma'am to them. So
Mhm.
so I
That's
was just
good.
raised like that. But what I found out, I don't care how hard the young man is, I don't care how hard the young woman is in these schools. The minute they understand that you care about
Hmm.
them kids will do anything and almost everything that you ask them to do, including learning. And so the behavior, it pretty much goes away. Any bad behavior pretty much goes away once you have that breakthrough, and those kids actually come into the classroom and try to learn. And I'm talking about the kids that you might see one time a month in your class that are skipping school all the time. Once they realize you love them, you'll be amazed. Those kids start showing up every day to your
That's
class.
right.
And
Right.
it,
And part,
mhm.
yeah, part of that means being authentic,
Yes,
and so being very real and transparent. And, I think parents are actually experiencing this for in a different way too. It's one thing to send your kid off to school and you see him in the evening and that's cool. That's the family
mhm.
time, whatever. But
Right.
all day long, 24/7. And, they're just like teachers are looked to as the models for learning during the day. Now parents are being looked to as well. So they're going to
Yes,
have to step up a little because
yes,
that's part of it. When we walk into a school, we put our game face on because we know it's
yes.
the minute we're not consistent, we
Ooh,
know
they
our
know.
classroom will fall apart, right? School will
Yeah.
fall apart. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's another challenge. I think that consistency and for everybody, anybody who's working with the child. Um,
Excellent. Yeah.
yeah.
Make the connection first, and let them know
Yeah.
that you care about them. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Bruning, for that. Um, Now, the hottest subject, and we just touched on some of it, but I want to go deeper on the effect. You talked about social emotional learning at the beginning when you were telling us more about deeper dive learning. Um, let's 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 talk about the effect of what is going on today. COVID-19, the current civil rights movement here in the United States.
Yeah.
It's here. There's no denying it. Every time we turn on the news, we're hearing something about COVID-19 or we're hearing something about a protest. This is the new. We're in the age of the new civil rights movement. We know what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Abernathy. We just lost two giant civil rights leaders.
Yes, we have.
John Lewis, U.S. Congressman John Lewis, and Reverend C.T. Vivian. And now we have this new generation of young people. And here's the most beautiful thing from my perspective is you're talking about all nationalities. You're talking about a diverse crowd being out there protesting and standing up for what's right. And now we're seeing corporations out here doing amazing things, trying to change the direction our country is going in, but in a very positive way, saying, hey, you know what? We may have made a mistake. No, not may have made a mistake. We made a mistake, and now we're going to put things in place to try to make this thing a little bit more equal, give people more opportunities from different backgrounds, and let's see how that works versus just saying, hey, everything is mine, everything belongs to me, and no other group of people should have anything on this planet. I love what's going on. And just one tidbit, my college, let me shout out Presbyterian College, because our president, Bob Staten, sent out a message, Pam, I couldn't even believe it, sent out a message to the Presbyterian College family this past week that took accountability for what has happened on their campus over the years that I personally experienced myself as far as racism is concerned. And they're actually doing something about it right now. And he put a heartfelt message out. So that's on my Facebook page right now, my personal profile page, the letter he sent out, and it's on the college's website, Presby, presby.edu. Check out that letter. And I challenge every college campus that has had a history in any kind of way of racism being on your campus. If you see what Bob Staten, the president of Presbyterian College, has written, then I challenge you to do the same, because this gentleman is taking leadership of his school, my alma mater, and he's a 1968 graduate. I'm a 1994 graduate, and I salute him for taking this stand, because I know it had to be a hard stance to write this letter about what has transpired on our campus over the years. And now you're apologizing, and more important than apologizing, you're doing something about it. So shout out to the Presbyterian College family and standing up for what's right. But Dr. Bruening, I'm sorry I went on a tangent there, but what do you think, and how do you think this current civil rights movement and this COVID-19 health crisis, health pandemic is affecting students in general and our student athletes, not only in the United States, but across the world?
Well, it's obviously affecting them in a lot of ways. I think for all of us, it's helping us remember what's most important in life. So it's kind of a reset for all of us. I know, a lot of people during that lockdown time took some time to really step back personally for themselves and really think about, is what I'm doing meaningful for me,
Yeah.
and others, not just me, but is it impacting others in a positive way? And, are there things I need to revisit in my own life, my own biases, my own stereotypes? And hopefully, that's a lot of what everybody takes away from this, is that we all have those. And so it isn't just one race or anything. It's just, as people, as humans, we're all subject to that. So, that's one of the things at Deeper Dive Learning, and it's kind of cool because we had already created 2 diversity courses.
Yes.
Before that even happened. And our author who wrote them is organizing, with our support and the support of another company, a whole panel that will go on for during the month of September about diversity. And so it'll be a panel discussion, and you know what, we might get you on there too. Discussion about different aspects on what people can do, because I think that's part of the thing is just it is a challenge to look at yourself, all of us.
It's tough. It's tough.
It really is to really think through, and hopefully, and that's what those courses were designed to do. Where one is really for it's in the 21st Century Workforce Skills Library, so it's focused on diversity in the workplace and that importance of belonging. Mm-hmm. and why everybody needs to feel like they belong, everyone. And so it's our duty, every one of us, to help others feel like they belong, regardless of wherever they come from or whatever their background is, doesn't matter. So that's really that course. The other one is actually created especially for educators. And that one was created after it was a request from a superintendent here in Georgia that we create a 1-hour experience, because he was looking ahead. Again, this was a year ago. He was looking ahead at the needs of his whole district. And he was saying everybody down to the bus driver, to the custodian, or the classroom teacher, really, had to take a look at themselves so that they could engage with their students better and form those closer relationships. And that's really what it's all about. If we need to listen to each other more. And I think if we haven't figured that out by now, that's really what a lot of this needs to be about.
Wow, I love it. So I got from that diversity, which is absolutely necessary in a lot of different cases around the world. Looking yourself in the mirror, taking that self-evaluation and seeing where our biases, our prejudices lie. And then the last piece where we say, hey, you know what? Now we've taken that self-evaluation. We know things need to be more diverse. Now let's put a plan of action. And you already have some of those things in place with your courses and your curriculum that you can share with schools and school systems, school districts to help move them forward. I love that. And shout out to all the administrators and teachers and counselors that were ahead of the curve and were already implementing these things in their schools. And you can tell, Dr. Bruening, speak on this a little bit, because you go up to a lot of schools around the country. You can tell when you go into a building where this already exists, where this culture has been built, where you have administration that takes diversity seriously, where they take learning seriously, they take discipline seriously, and they want all their students, including their student athletes, to be successful no matter where they come from, no matter what the color of their skin is. They hold everybody in the building accountable, and they want everybody to learn and achieve at a high level. Can you talk about that when you walk in the building, you see that versus some of the other things we've seen in schools?
Yeah, you absolutely can tell. And you can tell the climate, the way people talk to each other, the way students talk to the administrators or the lady at the front desk. I can usually tell right there. Just the way, students are coming into the office, how they treat the lady at the front desk and vice versa. How they treat, and I usually go in as a salesperson right at this minute, seems like more often, but, and how they treat us too. It's the same thing, and we're all different, but you can tell by the messages on the walls, the chatter in the halls or in the classrooms, the excitement from the kids, those schools, and those schools do well too. And so you can see that in that student achievement as well. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I love it. So,
but I really do. If I add one more thing, I really do believe that our current students are more open to diversity than ever before. Even my own son is 28 and he doesn't think twice about it. It isn't like, he grew up around lots of different people and doesn't think twice about it. So yeah, we're the right people at the right time coming up.
Absolutely. And see, again, it's a tribute to you, because obviously that's what you exemplified in the house. And when y'all went out and seeing you interact with different people, allow him to see that and say, oh, well, okay, cool. I can go do that. I can do that too, because I see my mom doing that. And so again, all we can do is be the best examples that we can be for our children. And then the children we get blessed to interact with that are outside our home. And I think that's one of the things that we have to focus on too. What kind of example do we want to be for young people as a parent and just as an adult in general? What kind of person do we want to be? And so one of the things that you just hit on is the younger generation thinks a lot differently than generations past. And that's because I think they've personally seen more diversity than we saw growing up. And so I challenge all the music executives, all the music companies, all the television networks, all the cable networks, all the movie studios. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that are in those serious, powerful positions of creating images, the advertising industry. Hey, it's okay to create ads with diversity in it. It's okay to show Black people as doctors, attorneys. My wife is an attorney. It's okay to do that. Yeah. You don't have to always show people of different cultures doing negative things. And y'all know this. Y'all know this already. That's been proven. Y'all know it, but y'all choose to show these images anyway. And so,
I think
go ahead, Pam.
Yes. No, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I think we've come a long way. I mean, I think people are way more aware of it than used to be. I think, even in deeper dive learning, one of the things that we are most conscious about is that diversity and making sure that we have that all the way through. And anybody that just takes a look at the outside looking in and sees all the different writers and all of those things, and even the images that we put in there, we take great pains to be sure that everybody as a learner feels, like they're part of that they're included and they see that. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, I think I'm glad corporations are all taking a look at it. I think, again, it's really about, meeting the needs of our constituents, whoever they are.
Absolutely.
Making them feel like they belong.
Yeah, you said it before, inclusion, belonging. Yeah. It's important. And people will be more productive when they have the feeling of belonging.
Absolutely.
It's been proven. So, Dr. Bruening, thank you for sharing all this great information in general with us today, but specifically about what y'all are doing with Deeper Dive Learning, because that's what it is. I love the name of your company, by the way, Deeper Dive. We have to go deeper with our relationships, deeper with our learning, deeper with creating the belonging feeling for all people involved. And I thank you. I thank you for the great work you're doing, that you have done, that you're doing, and that you will continue to do in the future. How can people get in touch with you? If people they see this video and they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Well, you can always go right to our website, deeperdive.learning.com. You can email info@deeperdive.learning.com and specifically ask for Pam, or you can always reach me at just pam@deeperdive.learning.com. That's the easiest way, probably. Comes right to my email. But our number is right there on the website too. So 1-800 number. Yeah, we would love to hear from you. And, we're really a responsive company. And because we're pretty lean, we're able to pivot very quickly. So, we do a lot of customization work for districts and schools who want to really put their little touch on things and, have created that ability for them to actually become writers of their own courses, so they can even be a course writer for themselves. Excellent. So we'd love to hear from you. Yeah, let us come work with you.
Excellent. I love it, Pam. And I'm a living example of when she says they can create customized curriculums for you, customized work for you. The Student Athlete Playbook, the Student Athlete Journal, the Student Athlete Playbook Facilitator's Guide. Hey, she worked directly with us and help us create this wonderful package that's affecting the lives in a positive way of thousands of student athletes across this country right now. And so thank you, Dr. Bruening. I always say thank you for that. As long as we're alive, every time we talk, I'll probably be saying thank you to you. Tremendous program.
You did the hard part. You wrote the book.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
But just an add on to diversity, we have translation built right into our product. So we actually are all over the world. We're being used in 15 different countries right now, in 28 states. So, easy to do. So it's not a language issue at all.
You heard it. You heard it from the CEO herself, Dr. Bruening. 15 different countries around the world. Listen, this is the kind of work that's being done out here, guys, ladies and gentlemen. So do not think people are not out here working, creating new programs, putting new ideas out there in the world of education and helping moving our country forward and helping moving the world forward. That's what we're seeing here with Dr. Bruening and her team with Deeper Dive Learning. So, Dr. Bruening, as we close out, is there anything else you would like to say to the student athletes, the students in general, the parents, the teachers, coaches, the administrators, superintendents, school board members, anybody watching this video? Is there anything you would like to say as we close out?
I think, you know what, this is a very challenging time. People are working very hard and working well together. And I think if we continue to keep each other in mind, each other's challenges, and really listen to each other, I think, you know, in the end, this could be one of the biggest things to ever happen to education, and really moving forward and furthering the whole idea that one size doesn't fit all, that we can really meet the needs of students, and even of each other as administrators, as teachers, and as parents. So I think it just has to be keeping that conversation open. And same thing with diversity, Barry. It's the same kind of thing.
I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Dr. Bruening. So as we close out here today, ladies and gentlemen, young people, everyone that's watching, hey, thank you. We hope you learned something from this video conversation. That's why we continue to bring you the best people that we're connected to, the best people that we meet, so that you can learn, so that we can continue to learn. I learned some things today that Pam and I never spoken about in years. Like, we've been around each other for years, and I learned something new today. That's the power of communicating. That's the power of talking. That's the power of staying in touch with your friends, because you always continue to learn something new about them as you grow in your relationship with them. So without further ado, listen, thank you for watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation featuring Dr. Pamela Bruening with Deeper Dive Learning today. Stay tuned. We will bring you another great person, another great entity that is doing great things out here in the world of education and helping our young people, because that's what it's all about. How do we help the next generation grow and develop and be strong? And listen, if you do not have the materials from the Student Athlete Playbook, the Student Athlete Achievement Program, you can visit our website, studentathleteplaybook.org, or you can go to our nonprofit charity organization website, youtheducationandsports.org, or you can visit Amazon, type in the search box, Student Athlete Playbook, and all our materials will pop up. And hey, right now, we're giving out a free 1-hour session, virtual session. So if you have our materials already, this goes for you. Just email us at info@studentathleteplaybook.org and sign up for your 1-hour complimentary session, and we'll take care of you. If you don't have our materials, go pick up our materials and then hit us up, and we'll get you your virtual session signed up, no cost to you at all. And we love working with our young people, and we look forward to working with you. So again, I'm Barry Brown. This is the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, and we'll be talking to you soon. One love.